our 76 Capital. Here we are. We're live with our 76 Capital Sports Innovation Meetup, and it's our startup showcase. Now, unfortunately, we're not all together in person, but this is something that we're doing at 76 Capital, where we're trying to bring together the overall sports innovation community and try to just help people. And so before we get started today, certainly I just want to make sure that everybody is healthy out there, and most importantly, staying safe. I mean, during these times, that's what it's all about. And that's one of the reasons why we're doing this, because we believe at 76 Capital, it's our responsibility to try to help others and try to make not only the world a better place, but also help out with throughout the whole the whole sports community. So for me, again, my name is Wayne Kimmel, the managing partner at 76 Capital, with my partner John Powell, as well as Chad Stender. The three of us, are the guys that run 76 Capital, along with a great team of people as well. Behind the scenes today, we have Krista, who is making sure everything runs well. We have Crystal also on the marketing team. And then, the guy who was really responsible for putting all the things together, Scott Powell. So thanks, Scott, for bringing together all the companies and working with James Santor and working with Steve and Sean. And, it's really awesome. It's awesome. So thank you for all the things that you guys do. And, next month, we're going to be doing another one of these. One of the things I want to mention before we get started is we have two hashtags that we like to use. Number one, we love the hashtag sports will be back, because sports will be back. That's what this is all about. The second one we also use is find your field, and find your field's all about kind of telling people, like, what are you doing in the sports world today to get involved? How are you playing in sports today? How are you watching what's even on today, right? And well, today, thank God, we have the draft. What a wonderful thing for that. So this is what it's all about. We're so excited to get this thing kicked off. And, yes, sports are stopped. We have the draft tonight. But now what we can do is hear from 7 great companies who are going to share with you all the things that they're doing to try to push things forward in the sports industry. And that's what we're all about, trying to find innovative companies, people that are trying to really, really push the limits and do the next thing in sports. That's what we're all about at 76 Capital. And you're going to see some really incredible people. And again, we all know as investors in the startup industry and in and around sports, what it's all about, it's the people. We want to find really good people. You're going to see people that are passionate about their businesses. You're going to see people that are really smart. And you're going to learn things over the next hour. And you know what? I'll tell you another thing. My team has been really impressed with how nice the group of people that we've been working with for this first showcase that we're doing. So these 7 companies doing awesome things. They're really trying to push the limits, and let's get started. So our first company today is SeventySix, and Harry's going to be the one who will present SeventySix, and let's bring her up and let's get going.
Thanks a lot, Wayne. I appreciate it. Hi, my name is Carrie Zaremba, and we are SeventySix. SeventySix is the leading technology and payments platform for smart venues. Our mobile platform integrates with existing venue infrastructure to simplify, improve, and even personalize the guest experience. So I am from Philadelphia, and my dad is a diehard, lifelong Eagles fan. And several years ago, I decided to take him to an Eagles game. And he was pretty happy because they won, but to be honest, from start to finish, it was really a very frustrating experience, definitely for me, but even for him. Everything from buying tickets to finding parking to getting into the venue, standing in majorly long lines, trying to buy food and drinks, trying to find what we were looking for in the stadium, and then getting home. It was really pretty maddening. And I thought there has to be a better way. And that really is what sparked the idea that became SeventySix. So our mission is to simplify, improve, and personalize the fan experience before, during, and even after an event. And now when you add a pandemic to that equation, fans are going to demand a completely reinvented venue experience when this all resumes, one that maintains ease and convenience, but also removes now physical contact from the equation. So let's take perhaps the most seminal part of the equation for both sports fans attending games, as well as teams and venue operators, and that's buying stuff. So first we had to identify the what. Well, the what both sides of the purchase equation that people want is a streamlined payments experience. And Venuetize solved that challenge by developing an e-commerce platform that allows fans to buy any product or service via any medium. And what that payment experience means for team owners and venue operators is increased speed of transaction, larger average order sizes, higher frequency of orders, and repeat orders. So in other words, more revenue. And then we had to figure out the how. How would we do that? So we identified 4 main pillars of our platform that were required in order to drive the streamlined experience. So the first was figuring out who the fan is. The second is knowing where they were and what was going on there. The third was connecting all of the back-end operating systems and content sources that fans interact with throughout their fan journey. And then lastly was giving them a way to pay for anything they want, whenever they want, in a consistent way. And that brings us to the why. Why take on this challenge? How big of a market opportunity are we talking about? Well, in the United States alone, the sports and entertainment market represents about a $5.2 billion opportunity in this space. And since founding the company about 5 years ago in 2015, we've experienced sustained rapid growth. Our current customer base sits at 64 venues across 7 professional sports leagues and 3 market verticals. We've doubled our revenue year on year and closed 2019 with about $6 million in annual recurring revenue. Our platform is scaled to support more than 6 million active users. And we believe COVID-19 will actually accelerate demand for Venuetize solutions. And we're completely up for that challenge. We are Venuetize, the leading tech and payments platform for smart venues. We're innovators who are reinventing the live event experience. And frankly, venues that don't adapt to the post-COVID-19 world will risk empty venues when things resume. Thanks, Wayne.
Well, Carrie, oh my God, thank you so much. That's awesome. You know, I got to tell you, like, I really appreciate you coming on and sharing all that with you, and most importantly, want to wish you a lot of success and in the future. It's awesome. You and your team at Venuetize are doing some great things. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. Well, so now as we move on, I mean, we gotta. This is going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I mean, that was some way to kick this thing off. Really, really, really excited to see how that played out. And now with our second company, it's called Sway Brand. So this will be the second company of our Sports Innovation Meetup. This is our startup showcase. This is really exciting to do this. You know, again, we're thrilled at 76 Capital to be able to put this on and share all these great companies. So Horace, the floor is yours. Let's go. Sway Brand.
Outstanding. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Krista, again for this wonderful opportunity. We're here out of Chicago, working super hard, praying for the global community for this crisis. Let's jump right in. Sway Brand. What is Sway Brand exactly? Sway Brand is a B2B tech platform that we are creating that connects brands, small, medium, and large, with finally, we think, a diverse set of brand ambassadors or athletes, artists, influencers. We're super excited about what we're building, and we think it's much more than just creating a successful company. We think that our mission and our vision is going to do some greater good for our culture and for our society. So some of the solutions and why are we here? What made Sway Brand? Well, I want to start off with 2 very, very brief stories. In starting off Sway Brand, we got just a tremendous opportunity to get in front of a couple of different enterprise level companies. That we talked to a lot of companies over the years, sourced a lot of feedback. One thing that we kept noticing as we were like walking out of these pitches, conference rooms, was we were the only African Americans in the room. And yet here were brand marketing teams looking to ultimately activate urban audiences. Kind of tiptoeing around the word, but we dug a little bit around this, and it turns out that only 5% of those that classify themselves as PR professionals, advertising agents in the marketing department in the field list themselves as Black or African American. So we kind of walked out of a lot of these meetings thinking that, this is kind of a huge opportunity. Flipping sides a little bit on the other side of our platform, the supply side, which are who we call authenticas, athletes, artists, entertainers, celebs. We got a chance to talk to a bunch of different agents. First of all, they fall into one of two categories. Either they have an agent or they don't. The ones that do have an agent, we went out and got a lot of feedback from CAA, a bunch of sports agencies. One CAA representative told us, he said, look, Horace, if you built a platform that I could use, not just for like my A-listers, but really for everybody else on my roster, help me bring those brand deals to them. They could be 5,000, 20,000, 50,000. It would make my life a lot easier. They would be a lot happier, and you would make some money as well. Our eyes lit up. We dug a little bit deeper into that. Turns out that same level of feedback was present for talent agencies, music recording labels, anyone that has and houses diverse or talent in general could use an auxiliary platform to help them find these brand deals. Ultimately, we think that this is a whole economy that can be unlocked through Sway Brand. It's not changing hands right now. These are payments of anywhere from 5 to 150,000. That's not going from brand to person. So how do we do this? It starts with Sway Match. Sway Match is our innovation of allowing a brand to create a post that then gets pushed to our mobile app technology. We're launching in June, and our mobile app on iOS will be available and accessible only to the Authenticas that are approved on our platform. As they get on the Sway Match, they're requesting to receive products. They're requesting to be a part of campaigns. So brands are continuously getting these active notifications from the people that they may see on TV, but it's a way of saying, hey, look, I like you, but I like you too. What's the end result? The end result is our Sway Can. So it's a little like TikTok, but we've created a really easy way for Authenticas to create content at scale using these very products that they discover, that they think are dope, that they really want to be a part of. They send this content back privately. Our eyes lit up right now. I mean, if our app was live, everyone's at home right now. So we are certainly sprinting, but yet being strategic as well. Finally, a little bit about our revenue model. This is a B2B SaaS platform. We think that there is tremendous value in being able to take to brands a better way to connect more authentically with diversity. You can't fake authenticity. And then, we think that this transactional part of what we're building is also going to be huge because for brands to be able to source content from these diverse individuals at scale from different parts of the country, from different cultures, from different backgrounds, that's all really authentic to their brand. We think it's going to be really powerful. So that's about it. We just won the NFLPA's pitch competition on January the 29th. Very excited about that. We've got 5 huge NFL ambassadors that we are going to announce this summer. Very excited about that. Stay tuned. But thank you. I think my time is up. 76 Capital, thank you so much. Looking forward to more opportunities. Thank you.
Well, that was great, Horace. Thanks so much for doing that. And shout out to Chicago, man. I hope everyone's doing all right out there. And
thank you.
Stay safe. Love your passion. Love your excitement about the business. And I think you're heading in the right direction. So best of luck. Let's stay in touch.
Thank you, Wayne.
Absolutely. Well, so here we are. Look, I just noticed we saw a lot of new people who have entered on our streams. We're live on LinkedIn. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Twitter. We're live on YouTube. And we're anywhere else you can find us. I think that's it. But maybe like ESPN next time or something. I don't know. And we're maybe VSiN. I don't know. Maybe we'll have some more sports betting stuff going, and we'll be talking about that. So, but anyway, this is really great. Excited about what's happening so far. We've heard from two great companies so far. We've heard from Venue Ties, Sway Brand, and now we're going to hear from quarter four. Kelly Brooks will be presenting quarter four, and the floor is yours, Kelly.
Thanks so much, Wayne. Thank you, everybody. I just really want to send a shout out to 76 Capital for supporting sport startups during this challenging time. My name is Kelly Brooks. I'm the co-founder of Quarter Four. My co-founder Daniela Kovic and I, we never intended Quarter Four to be a sports betting resource. What happened was we have a tech background. This is my second tech startup, so we're tech first. And for fun, about 2 years ago, I threw out to my team, hey, let's try out this AI stuff. Let's predict how Kyle Lowry would perform in a championship run, because Kyle Lowry is my favorite athlete. And from there, 2 years later, we now have Quarter Four, and it's evolved to the amazing, powerful platform that it is now. So I'm going to start with a question. What is a punter? So a punter is an antiquated term that describes someone who places bets or makes risky investments. And it's also a very common term in the sports betting industry. At Quarter Four, we want to eliminate that term. At Quarter Four, we service the new tech-savvy, passionate sports bettor who is also a super fan and may play in fantasy as well. The reason that we do this is because if we don't, as a betting industry, start moving into new innovative spaces, we're at a risk of losing 40 million potential new bettors who could come into an industry and who are looking for really innovative ways and gamified ways to experience the sports betting industry now with the legalized sports betting opportunity that resides in North America. So as an industry, we need to disrupt and promote betting to a new tech-savvy audience. Quarter Four is the most powerful and advanced AI betting resource on the market. What we do is we're a very powerful platform. We have hundreds of AI models running, and we do team performance and player prop predictions, and we deliver that in seconds to an end user in a gamified interface, and we can actually deliver via voice as well in your car, on your phone, on your Google Home. We are not walls of stats. We are not biased picks. We are not old school tips and tricks. We are here to innovate the industry. What makes Quarter Four so different? What are our differentiators? Because there are a lot of prediction apps out there, I'm not going to lie. Quarter Four is different because, number one, we are an entire AI infrastructure. We are extremely powerful. We are running hundreds of AI models, and all of them take into account some performance data and some non-performance data. So we can predict team performance and player, like for example, player prop predictions with very great accuracy, and we continue to improve our accuracy time over time. The second differentiator for us is that we service B2B and B2C markets. So we can support, for example, a new bettor coming in curious about doing, a prop bet for the first time. We can give them some smart, transparent guidance on that. Or we can work with a really progressive sports book or company that wants to stream really progressive AI content, or even integrate custom AI lines into their own back end. So we're a multi-pronged opportunity. And then the third thing is our team. So we're a tech-first team. So we really think about technology. We think about the user experience, and we also think about, how can we just make things so much better? We think outside of the box all the time. And we're also supported by a really amazing elite advisory board that does have sports experience and tech experience as well. So we're a very powerful team. Our roadmap has changed because of COVID. I call it the COVID curveball. Our roadmap right now, currently, the product is live. You can utilize it. I mean, we don't have predictions right now, but we are predicting NBA and NCAA basketball. With COVID, we're expediting our development. So we're incorporating NHL predictions, yay Canada, yay hockey. It's actually increased 38% in the betting market at this time. So it's a really good space to be in. And the most exciting thing is we're actually working on live AI predictions, which is really disruptive and really exciting because live betting is going to be so important to the future. If you want to become a part of Q4, we're looking for three things. We're looking for really progressive organizations that offer progressive tech, just like us, because when sports comes back, we're all going to be jockeying for position to get customers. So we're partnering with really progressive sports agencies right now that can work with us, whether you have AI as well or other things, contact us and let's partner up on this. Number two, we're looking for really passionate, experienced investors. During this time, we were actually in the middle of a raise when all of this happened. And thirdly, our platform is live at Q4.io. You can sign on as a free user. The data is frozen at March the 14th, but you can still go in and see what we've done with our news feed, our predictions. You can personalize your dashboard, and we would love to hear your feedback. Send us any feedback that you have, because we're going to use this time to make Q4 the most beautiful, progressive platform that's available, and we're ready to go when sports come back. Thank you.
Oh, that was awesome, Kelly. Thank you so much, and thanks for joining us from Canada.
Yes.
That's one of the amazing things about this time, I guess, and what we're doing with our Sports Innovation Meetups. You can be from anywhere. You talked about Kyle Lowry. He's from Philly, right?
I know that. Yes. Yep. He's gritty. He defines startup through and through. Kyle Lowry.
That's awesome. A Villanova guy,
Okay.
and what a Toronto Raptor. He's one of the greats. Right?
One of the greats. Thank you so much for this opportunity today. We are so happy to be here.
You're welcome. Best of luck. And we've had 3 great presentations so far. It's really, and by the way, I just keep looking at our numbers. The numbers keep growing. So as Kelly did a great job, and Horace and Carrie and everyone did a great job so far. And we're going to continue to grow here. And I'm really excited to see this really happening. And our next presenter on our 76 Capital Sports Innovation Meetup, and part of this startup showcase today, is the president of U.S. Integrity. U.S. Integrity, for everybody, is actually a current 76 Capital portfolio company, fairly new to our portfolio. And I think it's going to be exciting because you had Kelly talk about what she was talking about from a betting perspective, and now we're going to stay within the sports betting world with Scott, but from a little different angle. So, Scott, the floor is yours.
Thanks very much, Wayne and the 76 team. I appreciate you guys setting this up. It's obviously been really, really informative the first 25 minutes or so. I'm going to be sharing a presentation for you guys to follow along. So U.S. Integrity was founded in 2018 by our CEO, Matthew Holt. He's the former chief operating officer at Cantor Gaming, and he really kind of revolutionized the integrity space. So what U.S. Integrity does is offer customized sports integrity solutions for NCAA conferences, universities, as well as professional leagues and individual teams. We also work closely with the regulators and gaming control boards, regulatory bodies, and we're really excited about the next steps in our company, which is providing risk management tools to operators that are regulated throughout the country. So our goal ultimately is to provide transparency, data, and information to our clients so that they understand how to kind of deal with this ever-evolving, nuanced, regulated sports gambling landscape. So we have 3 core principles. I would also categorize them as our differentiators and our strategic drivers. The first is that we're conflict-free. So We're very much committed to remaining completely independent as an integrity organization. So we never generate or offer wagering lines. We do not manage risk. We only assist our clients in identifying areas that are potentially suspicious throughout the sports gambling landscape. We also have domain expertise. Like I said, Matt Holt is our founder and CEO, and he is one of the preeminent names in the integrity space. And he's been doing it for decades at this point. My experience is in financial services compliance. And so I was used to identifying equity and debt transactions that were potentially suspicious for major asset managers and hedge funds throughout the country. And now I'm applying that knowledge and that expertise to identifying wagers and potentially suspicious behavior throughout the sports wagering regulated landscape. Our third differentiator has a lot to do with 76 Capital, frankly. It's our investment in technology. We aim to be as proprietary and as data focused as we possibly can. We're consistently innovating and developing new products, screens, and reports for our customer base, and we strive to provide value add services at all times. So I would say there's four sort of pillars of integrity monitoring. There's definitely a bunch of factors that go into analyzing whether a game or a ticket or a wager or an activity is potentially suspicious. But I would say they generally fall under four categories. Those four categories are line movement and betting data analysis. We're the only integrity provider currently operating in the United States that receives real betting data from regulated sports books. And with that data, we're able to analyze irregularities and potentially suspicious behavior and then escalate them to our clients. The second bucket is potential misuse of insider information. This is quite analogous to the financial services world and the stock market. If you get a tip that someone is going to be announcing a significant sale or that earnings were up, 10% year over year prior to the public dissemination of that information, then you're in receipt of insider information. There's obviously several laws and regulations and mandates of what you can and can't do with that information. And frankly, it's a big concern in the sports landscape as to what you can and can't do with insider information related to injuries and information of student athletes and professional athletes. So that's the category that we are constantly focusing on. Social media review is a huge part of that. The third bucket is notable player or coaching events. This is really a sort of a fancy way of saying monitoring for point shaving and game manipulation. I'm sure that a lot of people might look at, if they have wagers on a game, they might say, oh, that point guard clearly fixed the game. He wasn't into it because he missed 10 out of his 12 first shots. Well, generally speaking, that's not usually the case, but we do have a suite of analytics and algorithms that help track and identify what actually might be suspicious player or coaching activity. And then finally, probably the most robust monitoring and reporting that we do is referees. And so referees obviously pose a very potentially suspicious threat to collegiate and professional athletics. We gather data on every referee to ensure that they are not deviating from their norm or from a referee average. And if they do, we usually try and correlate that with any abnormal betting data analysis to kind of identify whether there was something suspicious or illegal taking place. As I mentioned at the top, we're in the process of leveraging that real betting data, that account level betting data from operators in order to develop some reporting and screens specifically for sportsbook risk managers. That's the next phase of our company and something we're really excited about. The data we use and the data we receive is used solely for the purpose of assisting those operators in better managing their risk. We do not give it out to consumers for their use at this point. We're only using it to ensure that operators are properly equipped to identify any potentially suspicious tickets or behavior. So here are just some examples with scrub data that we're working on. This is handled by league for a random operator. This is handled by event or for the NFL. So as you can see, there's handle numbers and risk numbers and the amount of tickets. And then what we're excited about is showing their profit and loss by league and event as well. So we can show you exactly how you've been doing over the course of a day, over the course of an hour. And then finally, what we do is we show how many wagers and how much volume you're taking 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes prior to a material injury release. That gives operators a really good idea of what they're taking in prior to some kind of material injury release, which of course could indicate potentially a leak of insider information. A client list is really important to us. We've partnered with conferences like the SEC, the Pac-12, the Big West, the West Coast Conference, the Big 12 Conference, amongst others. We've partnered with operators like Circus Sports and US Bookmaking, and we have some interesting partnerships underway that we're really excited about. And we're partnering with individual universities as well, like Penn State and University of Pittsburgh. And we only expect this to expand and mature more rapidly over the next 6, 9, 12 months. I would say that obviously while sports aren't going on, we're obviously not monitoring wagering action. But what we are doing is we're developing a really interesting sports gambling education curriculum in partnership with Ohio University. I urge any of you that are interested to go check it out. It's at sportsgamblingeducation.com. We're focusing specifically on how to manage the complex and nuanced sports wagering landscape. We provide tips and tools to athletic directors and compliance folks on how to identify potentially suspicious activity, kind of enhance their policies and procedures to incorporate certain controls, and really how to mitigate the risks associated with this sort of ever-evolving sports wagering landscape. So with that, I think that's kind of our overview of US Integrity. Again, I want to thank Wayne and the 76 Capital team. It's been really great working with them over the last 8 or 9 months, and we're really excited about the future. And this has been a great event that I'm looking forward to watching the next half hour of. Thanks, Wayne.
Hey, Scott, thank you so much. And you brought us to halftime, Scott. I appreciate that. And want to send our best to Matt and the rest of your team out in Las Vegas. I know you're in New York, they're in Vegas. And again, I hope everyone just stays safe and does the right thing. And sports will be back. And that's one of our hashtags, everybody. Sports will be back. The idea also, find your field, find your place. Where do you love to play sports? Post some pictures, show yourself playing basketball, show yourself, I've done a couple of those lately. Maybe, like our chief of staff, James Santor, play baseball, go out and use some of the cool tech that some of our companies like Diamond Kinetics have. Use their ball, use some of the sensors in your bats. Go out and play baseball with your kids, play softball with your daughters. Use some of the latest and greatest technology that's out there. It's something that we can all do, and post pictures and just try to keep everyone's spirits up. And again, try to innovate and create and do amazing things in an industry that we love, right? The sports industry, that we all love sports. What does everyone love to do? We always say this at 76 Capital. My partners, John and Chad, we always talk about people love they want to play sports or work out. They are interested in trying to get one of their kids to become the next LeBron James or Serena Williams. Or number 3, they just want to watch a game or bet on a game. So it's amazing. It's what we all love. It's what everything's all about here and all across the world. So sports is something that goes, way past everything else. Again, I just want to thank our team, Scott Powell, who really helped put everything together and organize this, along with Krista and Crystal and James and Steve and Sean. Thanks for all the hard work there. And, this is why we do this. This is why we do this here at 76 Capital, to bring people together, try to help each other. One of the things I wanted to point out also was, let's try to see as a community how we can help each other. So if you want to reach out and talk to any of the 7 presenters today, please reach out, through social right now, or directly to us at 76 Capital, or directly to the presenters themselves. And let's see if we can help each other. Let's see if there's ways to do this. I think at the end we may be taking some questions for some of the companies. So stay tuned for that. And now we have 3 more companies to go. As we round out halftime. Sorry, we didn't have any dancers or any sort of maybe like that one lady who goes at halftime and she stacks all those plates up and stands on the chairs. We couldn't get her. Maybe next time. Maybe next month, Krista. Let's try to book her for next month. All right. So let's move on. We have London United is going to be our 5th company, and the presenter, his name is Oliver. And Oliver, you're up. The floor is yours. You got to unmute, and then we'll get you. We got you.
Best laid plans.
There we go. Perfect. Well, here
Good
we are.
evening from London.
Yeah, here we'll start all over again. Let's just make it. Oliver, London United, you got the floor.
Thanks very much, Wayne. Good evening from London. Thanks again for hosting this innovative offering. I'm here to talk about esports. Esports is competitive video gaming, as you may know. It's very pertinent at the moment. I've actually come into the esports industry from traditional sports. I worked at the English Premier League for a long time and in Formula One before going into sports tech and then esports and setting up London United. And London United is essentially a fan-driven grassroots esports organization. And we're trying to help gamers take more of a path to pro. The stigma around gaming and making a career out of gaming is not there anymore. But what we are actually trying to do is take a different twist to this. We're trying to build out community at the same time. We're looking to discover and educate the great talent that we find, but also try and use gaming as a means of social purpose. So almost to get people off the streets gaming and be educated. I've got a very short video that I'm just going to play to give you an overview. So you will have seen in that short video that we refer to a platform, and that platform is a platform that sits behind our website and is there to drive engagement for the gamers and the fans of London United. Essentially what we're saying is if we're going to host tryouts to compete for places in our roster, we're going to make it a community-driven event, and we want gamers to upload content to our platform, whether it's for Fortnite, Apex, NBA 2K, whichever title it might be. We then take that content and we socialize it, we put it out on the social channels, we get fans voting for their favorite, and you can see this beta version that there's a leaderboard on the right-hand side. And actually what that does is it helps filter out the gamers who then get invited to our physical event to date to try it against each other, whilst creating a bit of buzz around the event and also giving the gamers some profile and also trying to enhance the momentum. To date, we have gone with physical events. Obviously, now the model is having to change slightly. We did 3 physical tryouts last year, each with a different twist. For example, for our Apex tryout, we held them at a shopping centre in a socially economically deprived area of London and used the hashtag Grime Against Knives. With our FIFA tryouts last year, we had a charity 5-a-side physical football soccer tournament before the actual virtual gaming event. So we're trying to take a different twist to esports and trying to build community around that to create that path to pro and opportunity for the gamers themselves. Each of our broadcasts was live streamed on Twitch and we accumulated 80,000 plus viewers. We have had some traction with brands, some of whom you'll recognize, the likes of Chipotle, who are very invested in esports in the US, but don't do anything at all really in Europe, have used us almost as a toe dipping exercise, to endemics like Logitech, to a law firm like DLA Piper, and then other FMCG brands. As of tomorrow, I'm actually going into an online community building model for the foreseeable future. So tomorrow and Saturday, I'm hosting online FIFA tryouts, again FIFA, because the winner of my tryouts will get to compete against renowned esports professional teams and football clubs esports players in the Yana charity event on the 2nd of May. So again, this is an opportunity that a gamer, a grassroots gamer might not normally get. And the likes of Thrustmaster are supporting to provide hardware to the winner, and G-Science are actually going to train the winner of the competition like an esports athlete in the lead up to Yana. Some of the companies that we've been talking to, you wouldn't be surprised to see some of the FMCG brands there, some of the hardware operators. But you know, from a social purpose angle, where we think gaming can be a means of good to actually get youth off the street and be educated at the same time, we're talking to would, frame it as local government, the local authority or the local mayor's office, to work out what's the best route forward in respect of having almost an appointment to play for these gamers to come and socialize, build out the community and try out for our team. We have the YANA event this weekend. We are game agnostic, platform agnostic, so we're looking at other events around Rocket League and Call of Duty and 2K and even Valorant. But for us, it's about building out community, and that really is around marketing and creating innovative content. So I'm in a seed round. I actually walked away from a deal a couple of months ago because it just wasn't right for the business. I'm trying to raise equivalent of around $600,000, predominantly to be spent on hiring good people. I have a guy from TikTok, for example, who wants to come and join as my head of marketing community. I want to build a robust and functional platform, but really to incur recurring revenue streams, we need to have a substantial marketing campaign. And we believe that has got to be concerted with events and creating content and being innovative around digital and esports. What's my vision? It's to be the largest grassroots gaming community in the world. The London United model is very replicable and it's very scalable. And there's no reason that we can't have teams all over the world that we then have competing in our owned and operated one league, a little bit like we've seen with Flashpoint in the US. Finally, just some of the people that are behind the business. I've mentioned my prior sports background. My co-founder has esports credibility. I have advisors that are from the brand, technology, PR, esports community. So again, thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to any questions later on.
Well, again, this was great. This was great. London United. Oliver, thank you so much for coming on and sharing all the great things that you're doing in the esports world. As you know, it's something that we care, deeply about at 76 Capital and are always looking for more great entrepreneurs. And maybe there'll be ways for us to work together in the future. You never know. So
I'm hopping on a plane as soon as I can.
Well, let's make sure that everyone's safe and let's not run around and do too much craziness right now. But that's why we're doing this, and this is why it's so amazing. And I got to tell you, we've been from Philly to Chicago to we've been inside of Canada. We were in New York and Las Vegas and now London. And who knows next? Where are we going next? This has really been a lot of fun so far. I'm really happy that our team at 76 Capital put this together. Again, thanks Scott and Krista and James and the whole team for doing a really good job of putting this together. The numbers just keep rolling. I keep looking at more people who have joined the streams. We're live on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. And I really hope, again, the reason why we're doing all this and the reason why Chad and John and I are so excited about doing these sports innovation meetups and specifically now the startup showcases that we're doing is to bring together the sports innovation community. How can we help each other? How can we help each other? How can we try to make our community better? How can we do better? How can we do more? I mean, think about this, right? One of the big things that we say at 76 Capital is there will be an Amazon, there will be a Facebook, there will be a Google of the sports industry. Those companies are not out there yet. They're not there yet. And hopefully it's one of the seven we showcase today. Hopefully one of you are the next great entrepreneurs. But we really believe, as all of you do, that the sports industry is the next big thing. We've had a number of really interesting things happen, but over the next 10 plus years, the opportunity to innovate and do incredible things around sports is what's next. So with that, let's move on to our sixth company. We're going to bring on Block Sports. And Mitchell, the floor is yours.
Great. Thanks, Wayne, for the intro, and thanks for the opportunity here to present. Let me just share my screen here. Great. So, yeah, thanks again, and thanks for taking the time. Block Sports is a social sports betting platform leveraging blockchain to provide the most trusted and secure betting experience for sports fans worldwide. We're aiming to redefine and disrupt the global sports betting market by solving for many of the risks and friction that come with the traditional model. namely payment and funding delays, unfavorable house odds, various player restrictions and other limitations, and even online fraud in some instances, just to name a few.
Hey, Mitchell, real quick, just want to interrupt or explain. We're still seeing, we're not seeing your screen yet. We're seeing.
Oh, sorry.
We're not seeing your screen yet.
Oh, okay, apologies. Is that better?
No problem. No problem. I mean, and where are you coming from? Where's this?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Well, see, that's what's so far away. You know, we got taken a while to come across the country. That's
yeah. The internet's not working too hot out here. But so hopefully everything's set now.
I still see a circle in the middle.
How's that?
You know what? There you go.
Okay.
There you go. All right. Let's. You know what?
All right.
Take two.
It's not a party without a few technical glitches.
Look, you know what? We're having fun. What are we doing? We're all home. We're all trying to make sure we're quarantined. It's all good. So let's take it from the top. We got so many people all over the internet, from LinkedIn and Facebook and Google and and YouTube. I mean, let's give you the whole time. So here we go. We're gonna get going here with Mitchell from Block Sports. The floor is yours.
Thanks again, Wayne. So Block Sports is a social sports betting platform. We're leveraging blockchain to provide the most trusted and secure betting experience for sports fans worldwide. We're aiming to redefine and disrupt the global sports betting market by solving for many of the risks and friction that come with the traditional model, namely payment and funding delays, unfavorable house odds, variety of player restrictions and limitations, and even online fraud in some instances, just to name a few. Our platform is designed to solve for these and other issues from day one. By building on blockchain, we're able to facilitate a wager today between two parties anywhere in the world safely, quickly, and reliably without the need for a middleman. And because there's no house or house margin, we're also able to provide our users with the best odds and expected value on every bet. As many of you know, the market opportunity is massive. Some estimates put the global market size, both regulated and unregulated, at well north of $1 trillion, with the fastest growth expected to occur in the US over the coming years. Our target consumer is the mass market casual bettor, in addition to the avid sports bettor, both in the US and internationally. And our goal is to capture a significant share of that market by providing a secure and seamless on-ramp to a highly social betting experience. And so what does that look like? Well, our initial product release is designed as a distributed betting app, web app, or widget that can be embedded easily on any website. It fits into a standard 300 by 600 ad unit, and it can be white labeled for any online publisher or existing gaming licensee that wants to provide a more social sports betting solution that's fully integrated into their own website. Getting started is super simple. It requires a quick sign up through the widget and does require, at least today, a user to have a separate digital wallet to hold their funds. We offer both marketplace bets, which are available for anyone on our platform to peruse and accept, as well as bets that you can make directly to your friends. Social for us is the glue, so we're adding a robust social layer and gamification elements to keep our users connected and engaged with one another while enjoying games they've bet on. When it comes to safeguarding our users on the platform, a key factor here to consider is that the user actually never deposits funds with us, and we never have access to or control over any user funds at any time. They interact directly with a verifiable and audited smart contract deployed on blockchain directly from their private wallet for every single transaction. I know that's a mouthful. And the contract itself handles all of the bet mechanics, from escrowing of the funds, resolution of the bets, and the release of funds to the winner in an autonomous fashion. In regards to our business model, we have an opportunity here to tap into multiple revenue streams. Our primary revenue source, however, will be a small transaction fee on completed wagers, which will still be a very, very small fraction of what a typical house would charge, with other revenue opportunities coming from premium content and data offerings, advertising, affiliate partnerships, and more. So that's a quick recap of the platform. Again, thanks 76 Capital for the opportunity to present, and thank you, audience, for listening.
Well, thank you so much again, Mitchell. Really appreciate it. Great job. And wow, we've been from Philly all around the country over to the UK, now LA, and now we're coming back halfway across the country with our last presenter. And really excited to hear what Brad Cummings from Equilottery is going to talk about. And before Brad gets started, just want to mention that there will be some questions after Brad's done. And again, the numbers just keep going, Brad. You got a lot of pressure on you. We got people from all over the world, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube that are excited to hear the last presentation of our 76 Capital first Sports Innovation Meetup Startup Showcase. So here we have Brad Cummings from Equilottery. The floor is yours.
We'll do our best to make you proud, Wayne. You said that we're a bunch of nice entrepreneurs, and I want to thank you because you set such a great example for the way that people should do business. So I appreciate that. Equilottery Games, what started as an attempt to grow the distribution channels for my first startup, which is a horse racing website, well known, called the Pollock Report, has now evolved into what we're now see as the first game of chance sportsbook. That's a vision that is delivered for lotteries. We're a technology company with multiple platforms built to integrate into lottery terminals. We're patent holders in the US and Canada for games based on future events, such as a sporting event or a TV show, or dare I say, a political election. But we're not just patent holders. We're not just a technology company. When I talk to investors, I say, one of the things that really separates us is our growing portfolio of pro sports league licenses, and we'll get into that more in a minute. We're set to launch the first ever daily lottery game based on a live sporting event in August of this year. Of course, that's tentative. It was originally earlier, but due to the COVID complications, everything is tentative right now. But that is set to launch, and we'll go into that. And we develop games that add new and young players to the lottery at a time when revenue streams are more important than ever. So this is Win Play Show. This is our first product, the horse racing product. Like all of our games, it's a quick pick ticket. This one is $2, and it's purchased at the retail terminal at a lottery retailer. Winnings are based on the results of a future live horse race somewhere in the US, and we currently have 43 racetracks under contract, and that number continues to grow. The system is built in partnership with Amto International, and we're tentatively set to premiere through the Kentucky Lottery in August of 2020 in all 3,400 plus lottery outlets across the state. And this all came out of a 90-day, 45-store pilot program last year in Kentucky, which we produced 123% of the lottery's stated goal for the game from a financial perspective. And that's without any marketing outside of walking into a store and seeing a sign and deciding to play. The 3 ways to win this game: match all 3 in a row, match all 3 any order, and match any 2 numbers. But that's just the beginning. See, what we're building from the horse racing vision is something much larger. And that really got kicked off last year in September when we were able to announce our partnership with Major League Baseball to start to develop games based on their sports. This is a non-exhaustive list of some of the other brands that we're working with, either with agreements or we're working towards such. And I can actually talk about our most recent partnership, which we're blown away by, so excited to add the NBA as a partner. And so that MLB and NBA partnership together will create a year-long game that I'm going to go into now. So how does that work? It's a $5 quick pick ticket sold through retail at the draw terminal. It's a 10-game parlay card. But again, I don't pick my teams. This is for players who aren't sports players. These are for game of chance players. And so if I bought this ticket, I didn't pick the Cubs or the Red Sox or the Mets. I came and bought a ticket. It quick picked it for me. If I bought another ticket, it would give me another set of outcomes. This is built on our own lottery-only system, optimized to integrate into state lotteries. The AmTote system is a tote system that we've retrofitted for lotteries. This system is actually built from the very beginning as a lottery-only system. This is the pay table. You match 7 out of 10, you get your money back. Up to 10 out of 10, you get a $1,000 top prize. Overall odds of 6 to 1 and a 60% return to player. And again, that baseball and the MLB and NBA relationship allows us to offer a year-round calendar of games, and we're working with other pro sports leagues at their level to be able to even further flesh out that schedule. And then we are final throes of the contract with NASCAR. They were good enough to allow us to talk about that here. And that's Racing Riches. This is a $5 ticket with 3 drivers, quick pick for the next NASCAR Cup Series race. Game runs weekly from February through November, beginning with the Daytona 500 and ending with the Cup Championship. Research that we conducted last year shows that NASCAR fans, well, so many of them are already lottery players, and yet when they play this game, they actually are going to add more of their spend to the lottery, has some of the lowest cannibalization rates you'll ever see in a lottery game. In fact, 80% of the revenue in our studies show that it will be new revenue to the lottery. And what time would it be better for us to be able to deliver new revenue than now? And quickly, this is the pay table. It's a match last place, $5, up to match all 3 in a row, $50,000, 7 to 1 overall odds of winning. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Wayne, and look forward to hearing your questions.
Well, that was great. Thanks so much, Brad. And we're wrapping up our Sports Innovation Meetup Startup Showcase in Kentucky, right? So that's exciting. And now we're going to move into the next section of this. We've had 7 companies, 7 really, really interesting, innovative companies in and around the sports industry. And again, thank you all of you for participating and doing this with us. Again, the goal here is really to make sure that we're just trying to bring innovation and the knowledge of what's happening in and around the sports industry to everyone around the world. And I think for the first time, I think we got a lot done here. So I'm really excited. Thanks to all of you. So Krista, I think you have a couple questions that you'd like to share with some of our presenters today. And you're on mute, but that's okay.
I'm so used to being on mute. So hi, everyone. I'm the senior graphic designer at 76 Capital. So what I'm going to be doing is fielding some questions to our presenters. So Wayne, I'm going to take you off here. So the first one that I'm going to ask is that a few people have been asking what everyone's been doing since COVID-19. As we know, sports are on pause right now, but that doesn't mean that you guys aren't working. So you guys are keeping the motors running so that when sports are back, we can just jump right in and push everything forward into the future like we need. So if you guys could raise your hands and I'll tag one of you in if you would like to answer, that would be great. All right, Brad, you're coming in. So what have you guys been doing at Equilottery during this downtime of sports?
Well, we've really been resetting our deck a bit. We had some plans that got shifted, some of them immediately, like what we talked about in the presentation, going from an April launch to an August launch on the Win Play Show product. There's some games that were being scheduled for the end of this year that are getting pushed into next year. So allowed us to make sure that everything that we're doing it right and we're doing it best for our customers, our clients. But then also what we're really seeing is an amazing 2021 coming. And that is, there's going to be so much opportunity, like to your guys' point about sports always going to be there. And when it comes back, it's going to come back roaring. But also on the lottery side, we're hearing from a lot of our friends in the lottery. I've been doing this for 5 years in the lottery space. And so we've become good friends with a lot of the people in the industry. And they're now looking at it and saying, we're losing revenue now. So what can I do next year to add new revenue to help increase that pie when some of the jackpot games maybe aren't performing as well and people just aren't going into stores right now? How am I going to make up for that next year? So what we're really doing is getting a lot of great feedback and we're doing a lot of preparation work and sales with our lottery clients for next year.
Awesome. That's awesome. All right, I'm going to tag in Kelly next. So Kelly, you are coming up right now. So welcome back.
Thanks. Am I answering the same question?
Yes, you are. Sorry.
So it's the COVID-19 question.
Yeah,
Okay,
how you're
COVID
pivoting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So again, I mentioned during my presentation, we call it the COVID curveball. We did have our roadmap established, but as a startup, you always have to be willing to change that roadmap. So what we did, we just put our heads down and we expedited our development. So we're integrating new sports. And one of the most important things that we have been doing as a startup is we are reaching out to everybody on LinkedIn that didn't have time to talk to us before when sports were on. So we have connected to some industry leaders that we may never have gotten a chance to speak to before. So very progressive industry leaders in the US betting space. And they have ultimately taken the time to connect us to their next level of people. So we're really, really using this time to get into touch with progressive companies, progressive people, investors, everybody who's kind of sitting at home a little bit bored and wondering what else is next for sports. So that's been a big part of our journey right now.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, everyone's trying to figure out the best thing to do moving forward. Again, you guys are all working, but you just are 7 of a huge group of industry leaders who are trying to get their businesses up and running. So it's very interesting to see exactly what you guys are doing and how to pivot. Next, I'm going to head over to VenueTize. Thank you for answering. So let me just bring you up here. So you're up. Same question. What are you guys doing to pivot during this downtime in sports, but not downtime for your business?
So we had already had several things on our roadmap regarding enhancing and streamlining the payments experience. But what we've done is we've shifted that to accelerate a lot of the work we've been doing around biometrics-based payments and especially touchless. So facial recognition is at the forefront of that. And we're getting a lot of demand from our current client base as well as from new prospective clients who are now all scrambling to ensure that not only are there mobile payments and digital commerce capabilities at all of their venues, but now ensuring that the contact part of that is removed from the equation. We're seeing a lot more aggressive stances taken around going completely cashless and even removing physical credit and debit cards from that transaction experience. Those were trends that we saw pre-COVID, but these are all intensifying and accelerating now.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely an ever-evolving thing, but it's really exciting to hear, again, how all you guys, and I know you all have answers to this question, but I want to try to spread the wealth here with the question and answer. So thank you so much for answering that. I'm going to take you off now. I'm going to pivot now. The question, another question that came through is the boom with esports and everyone's at home. So as one of our portfolio companies, Nerd Street, John Fazio said earlier, or last week, I guess now at this point, that esports kind of became a social responsibility where everyone's staying home and playing games is your civic duty to play right now. So I'm going to bring in London United to see how, how is everything on your end with esports and how has it changed everything going on over in London?
Well, I think the interesting thing is, and thanks, Krista, for teeing that up, is that esports industry isn't immune to what's going on. And actually, I wrote an article on LinkedIn last week about it, about the people that might not be working, events that are being cancelled. But certainly, it is creating a great opportunity for online engagement. But we want to be socially responsible. We don't want to encourage people to be playing games 23 hours a day, but we want to build a community around it. So whereas last year we very much were set on physical events, this year we've gone down the online route. And in respect of how we build out the community, we're coming up with ideas around our stream, which is at 3 p.m. UK time on Twitch on Saturday, where we can actually integrate videos of the gamers to actually give them a face instead of them just behind a computer screen and having no visibility. We're asking the gamers when they register to send in a 30-second profile video, which gives us their name and where they're from and an interesting fact about them. So that actually when viewers are watching this 15 minutes of FIFA, as it's going to be on Saturday, there's actually a bit of community allegiance and alignment there. So we've really had to pivot, but there's a lot of opportunities. We're talking to a lot of interesting businesses who are looking for ways to align with this demographic, which is, of course, the very hard to reach demographic, which is why a lot of brands are coming into it. But it's very much around building out the community online, Krista.
Yeah, I mean, clearly you guys are really involved with esports. So just seeing how that is, and again, everyone's at home. Some people are unfortunately out of work, but esports is bringing us a community that a lot of people didn't realize was there. So you guys are very much involved in that, and we thank you for that as well. I'm going to take you off here now. I'm going to bring in Mitchell from Block Sports. We did have a question specifically for you. It was very, very specific, and it was, is the social betting aspect that you mentioned during your presentation public or privately shared? Is it essentially kind of like a Venmo situation where you can toggle on and off between friends or coworkers? Can you tell us more about that? You're on mute. You're pulling a me.
Sorry. So so similar to other social networking apps, you have the ability to set your profile to private or public. You have the ability to establish groups that are also private or public. When you're public, folks can actually follow things that you're posting, including bets to the marketplace. They won't be able to see what bets you're placing to individuals or private groups, but anything that's posted in the marketplace is accessible and viewable by everybody. But there are controls to limit how much information and content you want to share with others.
Awesome. Okay, great. Thank you. I'm sure that answered whoever asked that question. I really appreciate it. I'm going to tag you off for right now. So another generic question, I'm sure you're all going to want to jump in on this one. Is anyone hiring right now or going to be looking for someone to join the team? So if you could raise your hand if you would like to talk about that. Or is anybody, Kelly, did you just raise your hand? No, okay. So another question, since that we have going on is anybody looking for funding? You guys are all startups. We're all running into, COVID-19 curveball, as Kelly put. So I'm going to tag in Horace right here from Sway Branding. He has something to say. So you are up and your camera. There you go.
Yes, we are raising our seed series round of $2 million at a $10 million post. Very excited about it. We are extremely excited about the platform and getting it launched right now. It's a way, we're all about getting players more money, and we're about creating authentic partnerships with brands that they are either discovering or that they already use or that they rock, and creating cool, unique content that these brands can use at scale from anywhere they are. So we think that those value propositions are indeed pretty timeless. We also think that the value proposition of helping companies and brands connect better to diverse individuals, and not just having one type of individual that they're continuously going to for their products, promotions, campaigns, even insights for everything that they're putting out, especially during this time. And then, number three, we are a completely digital platform. So we're built for complete communication and workflow of a dashboard from a brand to our mobile app with the Authentica.
Awesome, thank you. I'm going to tag you out here. Since I wasn't planning on going live, I just looked at the time and we're running out. I do want to say that all of our companies that were on the showcase today are currently looking for investors. We will be sharing out on social media all the social tags for all these companies. So if you want to work with them, if you want to invest with them, or just want to talk to them, learn more about their company, their products, please reach out. Again, we will be sharing this over and over again over the next coming weeks, and you will be able to get in contact with any of these people. I'm going to tag Wayne back in for our send off here, and it was nice seeing all of you, and I hope you all stay safe and happy. Thanks.
Well, thanks, Krista. Thanks, everybody, for all the great questions. There's so many interesting questions. I'm looking at the list of them. There's one about the ideas. How can sports venues come back with social distancing? And those are the types of issues. Those are the types of things that we're all thinking about right now as to how we will do it. And the way we'll do that is through innovative thinking, through these types of get-togethers. This is what we're going to continue to do at 76 Capital. We're really happy to have had today Venue Ties, Sway Brand, Quarter 4, US Integrity, London United, Block Sports, and Equilottery. Thank you so much for coming out. Really appreciate your time and hope that this was helpful to you. Hopefully you make new connections, develop new relationships, find new investors, find new employees. As Krista said, we're going to share this out all over the internet. We've been live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram, and YouTube. Instagram will come another time. We'll do another one of those. But look, this has been great. I'm very happy how this went today. And once again, we just want to thank the whole team at 76 Capital: John, Chad, James, Scott Powell, Steve, Sean, Crystal, and of course, Krista did a great job running the show today and making sure all the dials and tagging everyone in and out and that kind of stuff. I appreciate it. So keep using the hashtags, find your field for your different things that you're doing in sports. As we said, another hashtag that we're using is sports will be back, and sports will be back because tonight is the NFL draft, and we couldn't just leave you and just say goodnight. But what we could do is give you something, and that's what we're all about at 76 Capital, helping others and giving back and trying to do more. So while you're watching the NFL draft tonight, one of the things that I'm happy to give and share with you is one of our other portfolio companies, VSiN, which we mentioned earlier, VSIN. You can watch the draft, watch from a betting perspective on VSiN tonight. But while you're doing that, while you have the main draft on as well, you can go onto VSiN. You can download the VSiN betting guide right off the website at VSiN.com. You can also watch VSiN at the same time on Comcast on your X1 box. It's a great way for you to check that out. So if you go on right under Netflix, you got VSiN right there. So hopefully you go out and get that betting guide. Enjoy the draft tonight. Have a great time. And again, thank you so much for coming out to our 76 Capital Sports Innovation Meetup, Startup Showcase, and hopefully next month we'll have another one. And the plan is for everybody to just stay healthy, stay safe, and let's keep innovating and doing amazing things in the sports industry. So thank you again for coming out and watching, and we'll be in touch soon. Take care.